So here we go, my lovely, lovely friends here on the Aspa Radio Network, Avana Psychic Radio, and Moonstruck TV. I hope you are all very well. I am just starting this show. It is a very, very special show because this is the 104th episode. And oh my goodness me, such an interesting and exciting experience altogether every time when I'm here with you talking to you. So I hope you are all very well. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about something interesting. When I'm coming here, I could have ideas what I'm going to talk about, but then about 85% of the time, something else is coming forward. So I am just truly, truly trusting God and spirit consciousness to give me this conversation today here for you. But then before I do that, actually, I need to tell you something as a very interesting conversation. So I need to remember that one as well. But if you are interested in my work, find me, follow me on social media. It's there everywhere, Zsuzsanna Medium, or my website, zsuzannamedium.com, and it's always 9 letters, Zsuzsanna. You know this very well. It's ZSUZSANNA. So I practice that. But otherwise, it's ZSUZSANNA medium.com, where I'm available for readings, coaching, and consultations, public talks, which I will have more coming up, even more live conversations and live platform work, what we call here in the UK. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then also hearing conversations, channeling. So you see, over these many, many shows, we have spoken about so many things. So that is all available for you as well. So you see, today I was talking to somebody. I was actually doing a reading, and while I was in the middle of the reading, a piece of memory came up for me in my own personal life. And you see, that can happen very easily if you are working with somebody else. So it doesn't have to be a reader, you don't have to be a psychic or a medium or a reader. But then anytime, you see, just notice when you are talking to somebody, anything can come up with you from your own experience. And then this is what happened to me. So it's like, even if you're a teacher, social worker, working with people, or just talking to your own parents or spouses and children and so on. So watch out for that moment when something else is coming up for you while you are listening to the other person. And then there is that very fine line of how much we are listening to the other person and how much we are drifting away with our own conversation. And, the past memories or conversations can bring up different melodies, different memories, melodies. Maybe we can sing for that as well. But then actually now I'm remembering. Now, that is another thing. Today I did not get any musical challenge from Mr. Dave Producer. So here we go. Maybe that's why I'm talking about the melodies with with the memories and melodies. But here we go. So this is what happened. And while I was doing this reading for somebody, I was talking to this lovely person, that piece of memory came up. And that was actually quite a few years ago when I remember I had a boyfriend. And then I did not know he wanted to break up with me. And that was December, around the first or second week of December. Of course, you are looking forward to Christmas and doing things together and so on and so on. And then that wasn't even in my consciousness that that could happen. But what was really, really interesting was and then maybe that's why I'm telling you, because there might be somebody out there who is in that very situation. Maybe that's why I got the whole idea for today. I don't know what I'm talking, but then maybe that's why I'm giving you this example, because that afternoon, the day before he broke up with me, that afternoon or evening, actually, I sat down and watched a film. And I remember that was a French film, one of the beautiful French films, and that beautiful, beautiful energy. And then in the film, the couple broke up, and then quite an unusual way. And certain conversations were said. And the following day, while I was going to work, I was teaching at that time and traveling on the train and so on and so on. When you watch something, it really has an impact on you. And then at the back of your mind, you are wondering, why is that person talked like that? Or what was that conversation about? Or it was a little bit unusual in that sense. So it was playing out in the back of my at the back of my mind. And then what was interesting that was that when I got home in the afternoon, of course, we went for a coffee with this boyfriend, and he just said to me what he wanted to say. It was quite plain, two sentences, quite direct, matter of fact. And how I would be normally taking things, I would be very emotional. But as I was listening to him and watching and reading the facial expressions and the body language, I saw exactly what I saw in the film the night before. And for the split second, I did not know whether I'm in the film. What kind of story? Whose story is this? What kind of energy is this? How do I need to experience my own reality? And what was really, really interesting, because little bit later, I did not have to think too much on the whole thing, because even if it was very sudden, but somehow I knew the story, because spirit put me there in front of my TV or DVD or whatever it was I was watching, to watch that film, to experience that conversation, to live through the emotions of the people in the story, and keep me busy for the whole day, the following day, the same day in a sense, to think about and ponder and feel the energy. As you know, when you watch a really good film, it's really at the back of your mind. So I said to myself, maybe yes, not just maybe, but that's why I was given that sign the night before, to live everything through. So when that moment comes, without me knowing it was coming, then I would be able to manage it. And how very beautiful spirit is protecting us from greater trauma. So if you feel that, so for me, that was a sign. I took it as a sign. And in that sense, it was easy, because by the time my ex-boyfriend said something, said his thing, I was already living everything through. It was more matter of fact for me, because my subconscious mind worked through the whole story from the film. And then when I was in my own chair, then everything played out, and in a way how it needed to play out. And me without me being emotionally affected by the story. So just watch out how spirit is looking after you when things are coming up in your life, whether you are having a conversation and suddenly you are taken back to a spot in your life, or a conversation, or you are watching something, or you are dreaming something, and the following couple of days that comes true, that brings certain conclusion or completion of a conversation. So that energy, that spiritual energy from our spirit families in the spiritual realm, they are very much there for us, and then they are watching over and guiding us. So, especially if you are more sensitive, or you know that, or they know you would take certain things more emotionally. So, it's quite fascinating how we are living in our own reality, and everything in one way or another is working out as it needs to work out. So just ponder on this. And then you see, while I was doing this reading earlier today, I said to myself, of course, my attention was on the individual. That's why I was there. And I could not have thought about my own stories, because I can't sidetrack myself. I need to be disciplined. And of course, this is what you do when you work professionally with somebody. That the whole story was there, but then I needed to think about it now. And then now, in preparation to this show, I said to myself, "Oh, maybe there is somebody out there, somewhere out there, who needed to hear this story." And then just noticing that, or believing and having that faith that you are guided, you are protected. And then even if you have quite big challenges in your life, then the solution is going to come of one way or another. And then even if you feel that actually, oh, my life is all over the place, I can't even sit still, or can't even think, or can't even do anything, or these kind of things, then there are times when spirit just very, very directly giving you the guidance, whether you want it or not, whether you have asked for it or not. Maybe you are just looking for your car key, or just putting out your rubbish or anything, or your trash, and then you would just find um, the spirit would find you. You know, you would be in that space that you suddenly feel that peace, that calm energy within yourself, and then suddenly, while your mind is very, very busy, then you would realize that actually, or you would feel, you would sense that energy that, oh, suddenly everything is just so very peaceful within myself. And how come? I was so stressed all over the place a couple of seconds ago, and now suddenly I'm feeling so very peaceful. And then if you feel that, you need to know, you need to know that spirit is very much looking after you and you are very much guided. And then even if you believe it or not, or accept it or not, but then that energy is very much around you and very much available for all of us, whether we are in a very zen out, very peaceful situation or in a very chaotic situation. But then spirit is giving us a sign when we need to hear it, when we need to get it. So very, very fascinating things. And it also brought me something up in my conversation that I remember. So today I'm just chatting, I'm just chatting one of these shows, brought up another storyline. And then that could also happen to you if you are developing or if you are interested in psychic development, mediumistic development, or healing energies and so on. That throughout your dreams, you know, that you can go through a time when you start having dreams, and then all the dreams are going to show you something. Excuse me, all the dreams are going to show you something. And in the morning, when you wake up, you realize that everything in your dream has been just so very vivid, so alive, and maybe a bit unusual, again, unusual. Take notice of those dreams, because that is another space where spirit is directly talking to you and finding the soul to soul, the highest of the highest frequency. Maybe our lives can be very, very, or is very, very chaotic. And that is maybe the time when they find you, when you are sleeping, and they give you the messages and then the guidance throughout your dreams. And if you are organized enough, you might want to write those dreams down, and then you will see what else is coming forward while you are writing. Your only job when you are writing, I'm looking for a pen here, the only job when you are writing is that you put the pen on the paper and let the pen do the work, and you will be surprised what is opening up for you. So I'm just encouraging you from this space to take any of these examples for your own life, and really listening to and knowing that, you know, you are very much looked after in spirit's care and God's love. So, my friends, this was our show, Zsuzsanna Medium 104. The A1R team behind the scene, thank you very much for this show and all the other shows. I always say, and I love you. And I'm encouraging all of you to stay tuned and watch all the other shows. And then once you have done that, come back to my pages, into all the YouTube page. You can find all the Zsuzsanna Medium shows, and keeping in touch and sending messages and signing up for the newsletter and all those wonderful, wonderful things. So my lovely friends, from this place, I'm sending you lots of love, many, many blessings. And I don't know what is the song. Maybe we can, you know, just sit quietly and start singing a song, and we'll see what is opening up for you. So here we go. Thank you very much, and speak to you very, very soon. Thanks. Bye.